What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to take a look at how big Elden Ring truly is. So, obviously, this is kind of like the game of the year in terms of the impact, right? It may not be everybody's favorite thing. It may also just not be up your alley. I'm sure there's many people that, maybe they're tired of hearing about Elden Ring. Maybe they never bought it, but Elden Ring is one of my favorite games so far this year. It's not my game of the year, but it's definitely one of them, one of the group. And again, the impact that it had and just how well it did for not being, I guess, a Rockstar game like GTA or Red Dead, and for not being a EA Sports game like Madden and FIFA, and not being Call of Duty. This game did, better than almost any other game on the face of the earth ever. And that's really the impact that it's had. So we've heard about a lot of the sales. We haven't seen any sales recently, right? I think we got to like that 13, 14 million units sold kind of number. But that was months ago. That was like, I think as of March 31st or in the beginning of April. So they haven't, updated. Now, I'm sure it has slowed, right? It did a lot of those within that number actually is the first 2 months of the game being out. That's insane. And most likely it hasn't reached, I would say, probably 20, right? It may have very easily reached 15 by now, but maybe they're waiting, right? Maybe they're waiting for 20 million to kind of have a nice press release. That's a really, I guess, even number, of course. And of course, that's a very big number to kind of announce, right? I'm sure they'll get there. Honestly, it may just take some time. But in terms of sales, the game did incredible. We know that based off the numbers and just how fast the game sold. Then when you look at it, it's like, well, also, the NPD thing. We heard about this a few weeks ago in that Elden Ring has passed or is now in the top 10 of NPD's highest selling games ever. And these are, I guess, for like premium games, they call them. So games, I guess, that really you probably need to charge $60 to $70 for a game in order to make it on this list, right? I doubt any indie game that's $20, $30 is here, although it's definitely possible. Maybe Minecraft could be on this list. In fact, it probably is. But you have 10 games. They don't give the order. We don't even know what the 10 games on the list are, but Elden Ring has now passed it. Now, that's for the U.S. So Elden Ring, in the history of time in the U.S., has now entered the top 10 games in terms of, money made. It probably is number 10, right? I doubt it's like number 5, 4, 3, because it just got announced a few weeks ago. So still, we have the numbers, and we have now that, at least in the U.S., it's like one of the biggest things, truly, to ever happen. Now, again, I'm sure COD, multiple Call of Duties are probably on there. GTA is probably, if not one, then maybe 2 or 3. The Red Dead games, stuff like that. I assume Minecraft is probably on there. So that's an insane list to have Elden Ring on. So now you have the numbers. Now you have them being on like the history board. And then IGN did an article today, and they talked about the impact basically on YouTube. Now, I'm sure other people have probably done it. I'm sure Twitch was really big. I think Twitch was gigantic, like when Elden Ring first kind of came out. And it's great to see, like, when these games come out, how well, like, Multiverses is just released, right, or the beta, and that game is doing great numbers on Twitch pretty consistently. So it's good to see when those things happen. And you can see here, based off the numbers, the launch views comparison, Elden Ring 3.4 billion views. The next highest is GTA 5 at 1.9. Now, GTA 5 was 2013. That's a long time ago. More people are on YouTube now than they were on 2013. But you look at the next one, Red Dead Redemption 2, 1.4 billion, right? So that's a more recent one, 4 years ago. So I'm sure GTA 6 will be the biggest thing truly to like ever come to this planet besides aliens. And so that'll beat Elden Ring's numbers. But again, now you look at like viewership. We know Twitch numbers were huge. And then you look at the launch on YouTube, and they go into more detail. Like there were all these guide videos. A lot of them were just video on demand of people playing the game. They list out like the channels that did so well. Channels made themselves on YouTube millions of subscribers, or at least 2, 3, 400,000 at the very minimum you could get just by making Elden Ring stuff. And I'm not saying it's like a cop out or like that's an easy thing to do. I'm just saying, like, again, it made views for channels that either were dabbling in it, or it made channels that were just doing Elden Ring, made those blow up. The impact here is nuts. So I just want to take some time to kind of look at that, because again, even to be honest with you, I'm not getting sick of it, but like I have heard of Elden Ring obviously quite a bit. I've played the game quite a bit. I do like it. It's everybody's talking about it this year. Again, it's not my game of the year, but the impact that it's had this year, and that's the thing I like to look at, and I'm excited about, I guess, or I kind of give them praise, because it's like, again, these numbers, like, Call of Duty tends to do these not necessarily in some of these metrics, but Call of Duty does like amazing numbers literally every single year. Even on their down years, they do insane. And I truly could care less, right? I mean, it's just the kind of preference that I have, but it's cool to see a game again. I mean, Call of Duty's always do well. Like, FIFA always makes EA a tremendous amount of money, but that's mainly through, like, the Ultimate Teams, right? People buying the cards. Madden's always do well. You get games like that, and then you obviously, again, you get the Rockstar games every handful of years, GTA or Red Dead, that literally just, blows up the internet and blows up money. They get a lot of money, right? And so it's cool to see outside of those, like, 8 and then Minecraft, which has been around for 50 years, it's cool to see a game this year, From Software, this company that everybody's had so much respect for such a long time, and they've always been around. They've always probably been underrated, right? Because they've always been viewed very highly, and their games are great, but not a lot of people play them because they're not a lot. I mean, like the numbers Elden Ring is getting, right? Because they're more niche. But Elden Ring has that biggest reach where it's getting the people outside of the norm that From Software had always gotten. This is the one that kind of broke through, and so it's really cool to see, a company like From Software and a game like Elden Ring get these kind of accolades, right? I think at least it's pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on the next one.